Hello warriors! It's Kind Zell with another video for you. A beginner's guide to heroes. We'll cover the basics of heroes to help you start strong in the game, including how to use them, what combinations are possible, and where to invest your resources. Feel free to leave more video suggestions in the comments. I really appreciate it. Also, check out my social media like Facebook and Instagram. The links are in the video description. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and activate the bell for all notifications, so you won't miss the new content I'll be bringing to the channel. Thank you, warriors, and now let's get into the video. You want to learn about heroes, right? Let's get started. At the beginning of the game, you start with essentially 3 heroes, 2 of them guaranteed, Josephine and Joan of Arc. It's important to understand that they belong to different classes or unit types. For example, Joan of Arc is good for spearmen, while Josephine specializes in archers and swordsmen. These are different types of troops that the game provides early on to make things easier and to give you recommended heroes for starting out. Reed Eric is a strong commander, and you can pair him with Josephine since both specialize in archers and swordsmen. If you're a free-to-play player or spend very little, it's wise to focus on these heroes. They cost less to develop, and you can gain stars and upgrades relatively easily. For Josephine, there's also the Battle Survival event, which lets you earn chests and medals for her as well. This allows you to level her up quickly without much investment. There's no need to max out their stars to 5. 3 stars are usually enough for you to use them effectively, whether for archery or swordsman. As for Reed Eric, you will be able to maximize him with ease. Another very important thing we need to understand is this up here, marked with a flag and a lion, or maybe a wolf. Anyway, it says military specialty, warrior. As you can see here, the strength in numbers talent activates the military specialty. With 2 heroes sharing the same specialty in one troop, they receive a 20% bonus to all attributes, such as defense, attack, etc. If all 3 heroes share the same specialty, the bonus increases to 30%. So, if you have 3 heroes in a single march, all of the warrior type, the bonus will rise to 30%. However, it is not active yet in this case because, although they share the same specialty, the talent is not unlocked. You need the talent to fully activate the bonus. For example, if we go to Attila's talents, you can see that strength in numbers is not active. This is the talent needed to fully activate the 30% bonus. To summarize, we now understand that we have 2 excellent heroes at the start, Reed Eric and Josephine, with low cost and strong synergy in the warrior style. On the second day, the Legendary Commander event begins, the Legendary Advent, if I'm not mistaken. Here, you can already select a better commander. For example, Richard for spearmen. Attila, which is what I chose because he works well with archers and cavalry. Attila's military specialty is also warrior, making him perfect for my synergy with Reed Eric and Josephine. I use Attila for archers, so my march focuses on archers, ensuring a solid early game without spending too much. Later on, I can create stronger hero combinations, but this allows me to have a good march from the beginning. For those who don't spend money on the game, this is ideal. Recommended march composition: Josephine, Reed Eric, Philip. This combination ensures a strong march focusing on archers, which is very effective early on. Now, if you don't want to focus on archers, you can go for swordsmen instead. In this case, you simply change the troop type. Instead of archers, you can assign swordsmen. At the top, there's a filter, which is great for finding heroes of the same class or type. For example, if you're unsure about which hero to combine for swordsmen, you can use the filter to locate them. One example is Hammurabi, whom you can get for free by logging in for 7 days. He is also a warrior and works well in combinations. If you're not interested in archers and don't want to invest in Attila, you can use Hammurabi instead to focus on infantry, swordsmen. To get more of Hammurabi's medals, simply log in for 7 days as mentioned or rely on the tavern to unlock them. Similarly, Reed Eric can be progressed by focusing on the Roar of the Giant event, which rewards his medals. Prioritize this event to gain his medals without spending. If you want to build a cavalry-focused army, there's Darius, another free hero you can obtain through the expedition mode. The expedition is straightforward and offers medals as rewards. You can unlock Darius by logging in for 2 days, and after that, gain more medals via exploration, marked by a green leaf icon, which appears after level 6 in the expedition. Darius specializes in cavalry and pairs well with free heroes like Guan, who is also great for early game strategies. You can acquire Guan's medals via the tavern without having to spend extra resources. For example, a decent cavalry march could include Darius as the main hero, Guan as secondary, another epic hero as support. If you've unlocked Leonidas, you can slowly level him up as the game gives you free medals. He's great for spearmen and can be utilized in future formations. For my 4th march, I used Cops, another free hero given to those who pre-registered. I paired Cops with heroes of the same military specialty, tactical, like Nino and Baldassari, both of which are epic and require minimal investment. Most of their stars and upgrades were achieved through free rewards from the tavern. The second skill isn't like the first, you'll need to invest in it. Since I'll be using her for a long time until I have a strong march, because building these compositions takes time at the beginning, I'll invest in her without hesitation, enhancing this skill to the maximum. At least the first 2 skills are worth upgrading. This one, the 3rd skill, you don't need to level it up. I only upgraded it a bit to help me early on with some extra damage or in case of war, but it's not necessary. If you don't face wars, even better, save your resources. These items for improving skill points aren't easy to come by, so it's better to save them for skills you truly need. Later on, these abilities will be replaced, so there's no need to focus on them. The better abilities for her in the future will include options like weak point attack. So, there's no reason to spend on these initial skills. Save your resources for legendary skills. If you want, you can upgrade the skills a little at the beginning, just to have some extra assurance. But don't go beyond level 20, it's unnecessary. Focus on the first 2 skills, as these are essential for her role and won't need replacing. For other heroes, it's similar. You don't need to upgrade everything, just the key skills. Always focus on the main heroes you're using for your most important march. In my case, my primary march consists of Josefina, Red Eric, and Attila. On talents, there's no big secret here. Simply focus on increasing damage, defense, and ability damage. Avoid wasting points on talents that increase XP gain, as XP comes naturally through events and other activities over time. Instead, invest in talents that enhance attack, damage, and abilities. Max out these talents for your primary heroes first. Afterward, focus on numbers. Forcing numbers activates a military synergy style that aligns with other heroes of the same type, granting additional troop bonuses. This makes your troops stronger. Essential tip. Once you reach a certain level, around 12, I believe, the game will provide recommendations through a sort of tutorial. It explains how hero synergies work and suggests compositions you can use. These suggestions are solid and make sense because they're based on input from experienced players who helped shape the game. For example, if you want an archer setup, you can use Josefina, Harold, and King Derek. Harold is also free and available through the tavern. Alternatively, you can use the setup I mentioned earlier, Josefina, Milan, and King Derek. If you're willing to spend a little on archers, you can try Josefina, Milan, and King Derek. Another option is Rani Durgavdi, though she's harder to acquire since she's available in the Treasure of the Kingdom and daily offers, both of which are paid options. Because of this, the alternative I suggested earlier, Josefina, King Derek, and Milan, makes more sense for most players. Heroes obtained through packages, like Leonidas, don't always require continuous purchases. You can evolve them gradually for free by earning medals through missions and events. For instance, to increase Leonidas stars, you can use the medals acquired via the first recharge package, as well as medal exchanges. These exchanges allow you to use in-game medals earned from various missions to improve a paid commander over time. This is one of the ways the game makes things easier for free-to-play players. For example, if you want to focus on archery, you can use Mulan. If you want to build a Lancer-focused composition, go with Leonidas. For example, You can create a composition with Leonidas, Joan of Arc, and Barbarossa. But for this, you'll need to invest. If you don't want to invest, you can use Dario instead. However, to use Dario, you'd need to spend a little on the Wheel of Fortune. Instead of focusing on Attila, you'd spend your empire coins on Ricardo, who is also an excellent commander. A good composition would be Leonidas, Barbarossa, and Dario. Another important feature is the sword and shield icon you'll see for certain heroes, which indicates their ability to participate in survival battles. Not all heroes have this ability. For example, Josefina does, and I'll show you in the expedition. Go to survival battle mode, and you'll see an event where you can select heroes. Here, you can only use heroes with the sword and shield icon. These heroes have specific abilities tailored for this mini-event. For Josefina, for instance, she has the Twilight Crusade skill, which increases the number of projectiles for her Wild Rose arrow and reduces its cooldown time. You can even see the skill card illustration in this event. This is another reason why it's good to focus on Josefina. Enhancing her will make her stronger in this event as well. If you're starting out and don't want to spend much, Josefina is an ideal choice. Invest in her, level her up, and she'll help you significantly in this event. The survival battle event is excellent for earning rewards. You can get the chests I mentioned earlier, which include heroes like Josefina, medals, XP, skill points, and other valuable items. Focus on this event and complete it as much as possible. Lastly, as you upgrade her star level, you'll unlock what I'd call chapters. These chapters provide additional empire coins, which you can collect and use in the game. And to wrap up the video, let's look at another feature, the overview of attributes. This is represented by the 3 little bars you see here. This is where you can check all the attributes of a hero. Here, you'll find everything about the hero, including their military style, talents, and more. Essentially, this is where you'll see their stats and status. This feature is available for every hero and allows you to make comparisons between heroes, their talents, and other details. So that's it, folks. I think I'll wrap up the video here since it's probably already quite lengthy, and there's so much more to talk about regarding the heroes. But I believe I've covered the basics to help you understand. If you still have questions, you can refer to the little tutorial I showed you earlier for tips on combinations and strategies. For those just starting out and playing free-to-play, I recommend focusing on either archery or swordsman. The best option is usually swordsman, but I personally went with archery since most people tend to choose swordsman, making archery a bit more unique. This guide is meant to help you get started on the right foot and give you an idea of what to focus on, how heroes, talents, and abilities work. In the future, I'll bring more detailed videos on optimal combinations for each unit type. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and turn on all notifications so you don't miss any new videos. Thank you very much, and see you in the next video.
Never stop, I'll get it if I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise.